Hi everyone, my name is David. I'm a KOK Play Frontier from the Genesis Group. And today I'm going to go over the importance of the metaverse, why I think it is so important, it is the thing of the future, and why KOK Play it has a bright future in the metaverse. Why I think that KOK Play currency, because is a cryptocurrency, the KOK Play currency is going to it has a really bright future ahead in terms of the currency going up in value. Remember, cryptocurrencies are not like stocks. When you buy a stock, it means you own part of the company, right? You are a part owner of the company. When you own a currency, a cryptocurrency, you are not a part owner of that the company that has made that cryptocurrency. What a cryptocurrency is like a currency, like the US dollar is a currency, the Korean won is a currency, the yuan is a currency, the euro is a currency, the yen is a currency. And so what it is you can use that currency in the country that, legalizes that currency, that establishes that currency for that nation. And so based on how well that nation is doing economically, the currency of that nation will go up, right? The more solid that economy is and how well people believe in how well that nation is going to do economically and politically, sound and all that, yeah, the currency is going to do well. And so the KOK Play currency, I believe, is going to go up in value because one, there's a set limit. And two, because the economy of KOK Play digital platform, especially when they make a metaverse, the currency is going to go up because the economy of it is going to be so strong. Now, why do I say this? Well, first, I'm going to introduce you to Robert D Arnott, okay? Dude's, in a way, I would say he's legendary. All right, he's an American entrepreneur, investor, editor, and writer who focuses on articles about quantitative investing. He serves as chairman of Research Affiliates, LLC, which advises on over $195 billion in investment assets. As of September 2018, he's married with 4 wonderful children. He edited the CFA Institute's Financial Analysis Journal from 2002 to 2006, has edited 3 books on equity management and tactical asset allocations. Okay, he's a co-author of the book, Fundamental Index, A Better Way to Invest, and co-editor of 3 other books relating to asset allocations and equity market investing. He has also served as visiting professor of finance at UCLA Anderson School of Management and editorial board of Journal of Portfolio Management, the product advisory board of Chicago Mercantile Exchange and Chicago Board Options Exchange. He's previously served chairman First Quadrant LP as global equity strategist at Solomon, president of TSA Capital Management, and as vice president of the Boston Company. Arnott has received 7 Graham and Dodd Scrolls and awards awarded annually by the CFA Institute for Best Articles of the Year, and has received 3 Bernstein Fabozzi Jacobs Levy Awards from the Journal of Portfolio Management Institutional Investor magazine. I mean, that's just incredible. That's an incredible resume that Mr. Arnott has. Now, let's look at Mr. Arnott at Kiko in an interview. All right. So check this out. This is about a minute 53 seconds in.
The notion that America's greatness and stature in the world and the world economy hinges on government spending is patently absurd. The nation has been a great nation because of self-reliance, because of entrepreneurialism, because of being the world leader in invention and innovation. And almost none of that comes from the government sector.
Now, I'm going to leave it right there. So, America's greatness is by individualism, is based by innovation, okay? It is based by, just the self-will, entrepreneur. I'm sorry, today's just one of those days, but, entrepreneurs, okay? These things that made America so great, so ahead of everyone else, right? Is when government was out the way and letting people seek. So many people bugging me right now. People seeking to really provide products and services, right? If you really understand business, if you want to be a successful business man or woman, you have to solve problems. Because when you solve problems really well, people will come to you to solve the problem. If you provide a product that solves a problem that people once solved, they'll buy your product, right? If they're hungry, your product solves that problem of hunger because it tastes good or fills their stomach, they're going to come. They have a problem of wanting to have a product that will allow them to call, take photos, use the internet, download things fast, all of that. And your product, which is a smartphone, whether it's from Samsung or Apple, is really good. People are going to buy your product because it solves the problems that they have. And America has been exceptionally good at producing products and services that solves problems. And that's what made America ahead in technology and everything else. And none of that came from government. That came from individuals, right? It came from the entrepreneurs. And what makes the metaverse so incredible is that that's what it's going to allow people to do again. Okay? So if you look for Korean brokerage investors and whatever firms, they're investing into the metaverse. All right. Why is the metaverse the hottest tech buzzword? Well, let's look into that. Why is it? So the metaverse may sound like some, hackneyed term from a William Gibson novel, but Facebook Incorporation, Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg sounded serious last week about its potential to transform the company he co-founded and the internet itself. I wanted to discuss this now so that you can see the future and that we're working toward and how our major initiative across the company are going to map to that. All right. So, Facebook is not alone. Increasingly, tech companies are hailing the importance of building a metaverse as a technological bridge from smartphones and mobile devices to virtual worlds where large numbers of people congregate to play, work, produce, and socialize. You see what I'm saying? And so, even spoken enterprise metaverse during his company's earnings call last night. Okay, this is, Microsoft. All right. And so the metaverse is going to allow people to socialize, to hang out with each other, but to work, to produce services. Imagine you're going to be hanging out in the metaverse and you're going to have like Pizza Hut. You're going to have McDonald's and companies actually have stores in the metaverse. So when you're hungry, you can order food and it'll be connected. The metaverse will be connected to where it will link to the nearest Pizza Hut or McDonald's or a healthier food franchise, maybe like Subway, and they will connect to the nearest physical store, and then they will, deliver food to your house. They're going to have all that in the metaverse. Believe me, they're going to have all that. Okay, so Facebook, like other app developers such as Epic Games Incorporated and Roblox, right, see the metaverse as a strategic lever that could bypass Apple Store fees and present an existential threat. I'm sorry, I've been talking so much, I'm struggling right now. Anyway, Metaverse forces the impracticality of Apple's position into the spotlight. Yeah, so in the Metaverse, imagine you're going to be able to download things to your phone or your devices as well. And imagine being able to open up your own business in the Metaverse. Think about that. You're going to be able to open up your own business in the metaverse. You're going to be free to be an entrepreneur, to, even develop codes, and, start your own business, have a company in the metaverse. You're going to be able to do all these things in the metaverse. Okay, believe it or not, watch, this is all going to be able to happen. Okay, don't be shocked. All right, you're going to have millionaires and billionaires being created in the metaverse. Okay, I would not be surprised at all. And imagine they're going to try to link the metaverse where different companies are linked to each other. Okay, metaverse startups enjoy unrivaled attention on cost stack. So this is where the money is going to go to. And what's so important is that if you look at KOK Play is going to be, is right here, is focusing and planning on developing their own metaverse, right? So here, look at the second paragraph. C.A. Young Cho delivers information about blockchain and extraordinary insight through the grounds of blockchain today. Thanks to this, the column has been continuously viewed and shared with great interest. In the August issue, the interesting contents appeared containing all three keywords of frequently mentioned topics of the year: blockchain, ESG, and Metaverse. Metaverse. Now, ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. Okay. So the metaverse is going to allow people to be entrepreneurs, to lead technology, to create services, and even probably, you're going to have factories, open up factories in the metaverse, but, when you order something, they'll make it in the physical world and then have it delivered to you or your place. Imagine coding, you can have somebody build you a store in the metaverse. Okay? Here, the metaverse, expect gold rush by many, right? This is the future. Okay, the metaverse, expect gold rush by many, market domination by a few. By a few, expect a market domination by a few. Bill Gates, Microsoft, right? Facebook. But KOK Play is going to be there. Okay? All right? And I think it's going to be open like the way I'm saying, where you're going to have people being able to start their own businesses. It's going to be because you can work in the metaverse. And so now you're going to need a currency, right? And these different metaverses, sure, you're going to have the traditional currencies like the US dollar and won, but you're going to have metaverses like KOK Play's metaverse connected to Facebook's metaverse, Google, Microsoft metaverse, Fortnite's metaverse. And what's going to happen is you're going to have to use, when you go to another metaverse, even though it's all connected, it's like going to another country. And so you're going to have to exchange the currency of whatever you're holding to the currency of that metaverse. And so when you come to KOK Play's metaverse, you're going to have to exchange. You have an exchange right here into KOK Play, KOK coins. And when you use KOK coins, when you buy services, rather as digital contents, physical goods, or other services that will be provided in KOK Play, because KOK Play, I truly believe, is going to allow people to open up stores, open up businesses to provide services and products. And so people are going to have to use KOK coins when they come to the KOK Play metaverse. You guys get what I'm saying? And then if you leave KOK Play to another metaverse, you're going to have to exchange KOK Play coins to whatever currency they're using. All right? But the key point here is when you look at someone like Robert D Arnott, who is a chairman that advises the investments of over under $145 billion. And he's saying the key to what made America so great is innovation, entrepreneurship. Well, that's what the metaverse is going to offer the people who join. It's going to allow people to innovate, to be entrepreneurs, to start new businesses, to work, to associate, to develop something new in the metaverse. All right. And that's a key component. That was a key component to what made America so great until now. You got the government want to step in, but the metaverse is going to offer that. You guys get what I'm saying? Now let's get 10 minutes into this.
Have a website. If your viewers Google Asset Allocation Interactive, it'll take you straight to our website, in which we forecast long-term returns for 130 different asset classes. U.S. stocks are dead last among the stock markets in the world with an expected return.
Look at that.
Of 1.8%.
U.S. stock market has the lowest expectations and returns of 1.8%. But now the interviewer, because she's great, I forgot her name, but she's excellent, but she's kind of new. Like, I think she showed up like a month or two ago. But anyway, she's going to ask, what is the best place to invest then, right?
Per year for the next 10 years. Most people don't buy, that's less than inflation. And it suggests prices not moving. You collect the dividends, prices don't move, and you lose ground in real terms against inflation. That's daunting. So you put your money in bonds? No, those are expected to give you slightly less than that in terms of 10-year returns. But it's not that there's a lack of interesting markets. There's a host of interesting markets. It's just that are engaged in reckless spending.
So you're saying that your forecast for the next decade is that investing in the U.S. equity market is actually the worst choice you could possibly make. You're going to get 1.8% return, if I'm hearing you correctly. Give me your top two, top three. Where shouldn't I be putting my money for the 10-year horizon?
You know, the emerging markets are awfully interesting these days.
Okay, now he says emerging markets, right? Emerging markets are, like South Korea is an emerging market. All right, we're at a trade plus. Our exports is at an all-time high in July, a record historical high. Singapore, Taiwan, right? Those are emerging markets. Exports are excellent because of chips, because they're producing physical goods and services. Right? But emerging markets. Well, what is an emerging market? An emerging market to me is right here, the metaverse. The metaverse is an emerging market. You have companies, brokerage firms, investors ready to throw money in. You have Zuckerberg talking about it. Fortnite, biggest gaming company, right? And you just think about it. This is an emerging market because when you look at the metaverse, it's like a virtual reality, but a country. You see what I'm saying? It's like a country. Because here, what is the metaverse and why is everyone talking about it? Think about this. What is the metaverse? The definition of a metaverse is very vague, but I will discuss some core attributes. He says 7. And so here, some companies are already building out the metaverse. Epic Games, Fortnite, Microsoft. Okay, think about it. Microsoft, Google, Facebook, and many more are contributions. And so basically, it is Tim Sweeney, Epic Games CEO, has said many times that the company is working towards creating its side of the metaverse, a mix between what is real and what is virtual, a place where people can come and create, work, and spend time together. You see what I'm saying? Now, here, one of the crucial points of the metaverse is for it to be an open economy and not controlled by one company. It's an open economy, not controlled by one company. So as many metaverses, it's going to be into one, but depending on which, if you're going to go to Fortnite, you're going to go to Facebook, you're going to go to, Microsoft, KOK Play, depending on which ones you use, which side you go to, you're going to have to use the currency. But you see, the metaverse is like a country in itself. It's an emerging market. It's an emerging market where you can work, you can produce, you can create entrepreneurship, right? All key factors. And is an emerging market. That's the best next place to put your money in for the next 10 years, right? Now, Robert D Arnott, Mr. Arnott didn't say the metaverse, but he said an emerging market. To me, the metaverse is an emerging market. Okay? KOK Play, which plans to make a metaverse, right? Look at 2 days ago, we introduced the concept and uses of metaverse through Wise Crypto Life Chapter. How interesting was that? There is an article we would like to share with you. Once again, confirms that the metaverse is up and coming. And the new now, up and coming. Okay, emerging market. Last week, Kungang Ibo published a column titled The Future of the Metaverse. Majority and the Metanomics. This column contains the meaning and uses of blockchain technology, the concept of metaverse, and the prospects for the future that these technologies will create. So, to me, once again, Mr. Arnott said an emerging market is probably the best place to invest your money for the next 10 years. To me, the metaverse is an emerging market. And KOK Play metaverse will be an emerging market. And because the KOK Play currency is limited, because it's going to have a metaverse that will allow people to open up their own businesses. That's what I believe KOK Play will allow. It's going to be like a country, but a virtual country, right? Facebook will be a virtual country. Basically, to me, is how I view it. Google, right? Microsoft, Fortnite, right? And so when you come to KOK Play, you're going to have to go through the exchange and exchange whatever currency you're using to the KOK Play currency. Okay? And so KOK Play will have entrepreneurship because people are going to be able to create, right? You're going to be able to create. You're going to be able to work there, provide new services. What what made America so great, you're going to have that opportunity to do it again in the metaverse. In the metaverse, right? Here, a place where people can come and create, work, and spend time together. So instead of the government fooling around, messing around, and trying to do things that really naturally you just let the economy, free economy, work by itself, would do much better than what governments can do, because governments suck at investing money. And here you're going to have the government out the way, especially at first anyway, in the metaverse, where people will have real natural entrepreneurship. And so what happens is then you're going to, I think, KOK Play will have a trade surplus in the metaverse, not a trade deficit, which will, and with so much money being predicted to come in, you have companies and, investors in Korea and all over the world ready to invest money into the metaverse, that the KOK Play currency is going to shoot up even more and will outperform the rise of, inflation and these other cryptocurrencies, because it's a currency. All right. Now let's go 20 minutes in.
Um, most of which we all know goes to waste.
Well, the pandemic has, of course, also created some opportunities and changes. Vaccine maker Moderna, for example, joined the S&P 500 recently. Rallied on that news, of course. News of index changes often results in investors piling into the stock that's being added. The presumption being that higher prices are coming as a result of index tracking funds now forced to buy the stock. Moderna stock up over 285% or so year to date, really had a great rally there. But you have said that an investor is better off steering clear of the stocks being added and buying the index deletions rather. Now, you were accurate on that call with Tesla. You predicted that Tesla would underperform the company that it was replacing in the index, Apartment Investment and Management. So does that apply to Moderna? And break down this thesis for us.
By about 80 percentage points. Buy the future, not the present. The market today's market prices are driven by narratives. The vaccine producers, phenomenal job creating vaccines in record time. The Moderna vaccine, for instance.
Exactly. He's saying buy the future, not the present, because the current prices already set in for what's going on now, right? And basically, he's saying that you don't want to buy stuff that's already overpriced. You don't want to buy Moderna now. Okay, just keep listening, watch.
China published the genome for the COVID virus. I believe it was on January 11 last year. 48 hours later, Moderna had the design for the vaccine. Now, why did it take 11 months? Well, thank you, CDC and FDA, for dragging it out 11 months before it could actually be rolled out. But never mind that, it was rolled out. And the result is we see these breathless reports of soaring cases as a consequence of the Delta variant. We don't see breathless reports of soaring deaths because the deaths aren't soaring. And they're not soaring because of the vaccine.
But break down your theory, if you will, as to why you should buy the index deletions as opposed to the ones that are being added.
This is the narrative issue. Moderna is soaring on the basis of a narrative that there will be enormous demand for their vaccines. And there will be. But it's already in the price now. The price is up 280%. Do you want to buy it now or do you want to buy it a year ago? Well,
see, do you want to buy it now where the price is already put into the demand? Or do you want to buy Moderna stocks a year ago when the prices weren't already added in to the demand? Now, let's use that logic. right? Now, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and I'm just explaining to you why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. Do I want to get into a currency that, because like a nation, people might want to buy US dollars because it's a reserve currency. People might want to buy the Chinese yuan because they see that, the based on production. They're producing a lot of products. Their exports are always more than their imports. You might consider the same with maybe Korea or Japan or something like that. Well, I'm going with, do I want coin currencies based on what I see what's going to happen in the metaverse, the entrepreneurship that is going to allow, and the growth of the economy within the metaverse. And so, do I think that the currency of KuCoin will go up when there's a limited supply to the currency? Right? Do I want to buy Moderna stocks now or a year ago? Well, do I want to buy KuCoins now before the metaverse is created, before the entrepreneurship, before the businesses or whatever? Even I might try to start a business in the KOK Play metaverse. And so that's like, this is my opportunity to buy Moderna stocks a year ago. Well, it's my opportunity to buy KuCoin assets, coins, currencies now. Because a couple years from now, 4 or 5 years from now, whatever the case is, it's like buying, it's like buying the Moderna stocks a year ago and holding on to the stocks now, where it's over 200%, or where I could get into KuCoin currencies now, and 4 or 5 years from now, whatever the case is going to be up. If it's $2, it could be up, 5, 6, 1,000%. Well, I don't know. I mean, it could go up to like $20, 40, $50. Who knows? Because it's limited. You see what I'm saying? And let's keep listening.
Actually, when they were first rolling it out, the notion buy on the story, sell on the news is a time-honored cliche in Wall Street. But the notion of buying Moderna right when their production of the vaccine is at peak levels, and a year from when that vaccine will no longer be particularly needed, that's probably not the right time to buy. I prefer to buy things that are unloved and out of favor. And so,
well, two points on that one. One, people are saying, well, we don't know what's happening with these vaccines. You maybe require booster shots. We're seeing now that a lot of places are demanding that you show proof of vaccination before you're allowed access to indoor dining. That's certainly what's happening here in New York. And if the idea is pushed that you need a booster shot and you have to get a vaccine shot every year, if not a booster one every 6 months, who knows how that's going to play out? Doesn't that bode very well for Moderna then?
It does on a near-term basis. And the thing is, stocks that are trading at lofty prices, they trade at lofty prices because they're great companies with great products. But you're prepaying for the growth that's expected. In order for those stocks to beat the market into the future, they have to exceed the lofty expectations.
All right.
They have to do better than the consensus view of their future growth.
Okay, very quickly, before I let you go, I mean, obviously, you are very well known for your position on value investing. And many investors are re-examining their exposure to value investing, being somewhat disillusioned because that approach has really underperformed over the past 13 and a half years or so relative to growth.
So basically, he's saying you want to buy the stuff that he just said it.
Growth investing being
the lofty expectations. The thing is, stocks that are trading at lofty prices.
Doesn't that bode very well? The idea is put a lot of places are one
to buy. I prefer to buy things that are unloved and out of favor.
There you go. He wants to buy stuff that are cheap, that people don't like, that people are not even talking about, that's underpriced for its value. You know, like I'm a silver bug, I'm a gold bug. So, precious metals to me, for its real value, especially for silver, is undervalued, is out of love, right? No one's talking about it. Well, now it's getting attention, but think about that. KOK Coin digital platform right now, especially with with them working on making the metaverse, to me is not, like no one's really talking about Coke Play all that much right now because it's still growing, right? To me, it's undervalued. It's undervalued, and that's just me personally. Um, and it's out of love because it's not well known, but it will be in love. People are going to talk about it. So before it rises, to me, this is like the time to get in. This is the time to get in. This is why I think Coke Coin can hit, not just $2, but double digits. And I'm not talking about just 10, but it could maybe go, 30, 40, 50, maybe more. All right? Because of everything that's going on. Remember, think about what this, just look at his background, right? Just look him up. All right? He's the chairman and who advises, um, assets worth over $195 billion. What did he say? He says, what made America so great is entrepreneurship, innovation. That's what the metaverse is going to provide. Okay? It's going to allow people to open up stores and bring in the entrepreneurs and innovation. Then he says, next, emerging markets. The metaverse to me is an emerging market. Next, he says you want to buy things that's kind of, you want to buy it before it's famous, like Moderna a year ago, right? Or when it's out of love, it's underpriced. Right now, Coke Coin is like Moderna a year ago, even maybe years ago. Okay, is in that situation now, and it's not even out of love. It hasn't been fully even in love, right? And is underpriced. So that's why I really think Coke Play really has an extremely, extremely good future, especially the value of the Coke coin currency, especially the currency because of everything that Coke Play is doing. It's just everything's on point. And once again, that's why Burberry and Intel and LG, whatever, Gillette, BMW, Hyundai, they're all advertising on Coke Play for a reason. All right? That's why everything here, just everything works. That's why there's an exchange, because it's going to be needed for the metaverse when you go to different sides of the metaverse. Okay? And you're going to be able to get interest on what you mine. Everything is just on point. It has such great, bright future. Now, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe, hit the like. All right? Unfortunately, I got to post this up on my second channel because YouTube, I don't know, they gave me a strike on some BS. I don't, they want to be communists all of a sudden. But anyway, look, if you guys want to, but I will start uploading again a couple days from now when my 1 week restriction is up. But here, for some of you, if you never downloaded Coke Play, and you want to download it, go to Play Store, hit KOK space PLAY. You're going to need a recommendation code, or just use mine. QAABIRWL, QAABIRWL. All right? I hope all of you like the content. If you have any questions, just leave a question. I'll answer it if I can. All right? Everyone, stay blessed. God bless. Coke on. We have an excellent future. Share this video, especially those who are in Coke Play, to let them know that we have an excellent future. The fundamentals are all there. All right.